What's up, everybody? This is Whisky in the Six. I'm Rob. I'm doing a Diageo special called Collectivum XXVIII. Alright? So this is a blended whiskey. It's a blended malt. Alright? It is 28 famous single malts. I'm gonna list them for you guys. So, a couple of these I'm gonna butcher for sure. Alright. Number one is Rosk. That's definitely butchered. Ben Rhines, Blair Athol, Kalila, Cardew, Clanleash, Craigenmore, Dalwhinnie, Dufftown, Glendullen, Glen Elgin, Glen Kinchy, Glen Lassie, Manicamore, Glen Ord, Glen Spey, Inchgower, Knockdew, Lagavulin, Linkwood, Royal Lochnagar, Mortlock, Oban, Roseisle, Strathmill, Talisker, and Teninich. Anyway, Roy is gonna kill me later, but for now I will review this lovely whiskey. When I first opened this whiskey, it was more peated than I expected, despite the fact that there's Lagavulin in it, there's Talisker in it, there's whiskeys that are peated in here for sure. There's also sherried whiskey in there, and it gives it a little bit of a tinge in color. All right, I don't know if you can pick that up. It's bottled at 57.3% natural cask strength. All right. Based on that, we know it's probably unchill filtered. It doesn't say whether or not there's added color. I'm gonna say it's Diageo and anything's possible, but I don't think they needed to be honest with you. It's not super dark. There's not a lot of these bottles. It's limited. So I don't think they added anything to it, but I could be wrong, all right? Collectivum is not a very popular whiskey. It's about $275 in Ontario. There wasn't very many. I think there was, someone corrected me when I said there was a couple cases. There's probably about 3 or 4 total. I'm not 100% sure exact numbers. Maybe 30, 40, I don't know, bottles, 30, 40 bottles. It's really good stuff. And I don't know how widely available this is globally. But in Ontario, it's pretty expensive, and I think for good reason. There's not a lot of information about this, but if I had to guess, it's probably around 10 to 15 years old. All right, maybe a blend of whiskeys between 10 and 15 years old. Maybe a little bit older, but not much. There's still the smallest remnant of peat on the nose, but all I pick up mainly now is sherry. But it's a very nice sherry. And then on the back end, there's like a charcoal type smoke. Not necessarily like a peat smoke, but there is something smoky back there, which tells you that this definitely has some ppm to it. Honestly, beautiful buttery sherry nose with that burnt toast in the background. But in a great way. Okay, not overly alcohol heavy on the nose, in my opinion. Definitely some red fruit in there. And you can't help but pick up that charcoal note, which is really, really pretty. Okay, on the palate. Great viscosity. Sherry, charcoal. Some vanilla in there. A little bit of sea spray. Such nice stuff. It's funny because if you close your eyes, sometimes you think you're drinking a Lagavulin, and then you feel like you're drinking a Talisker, and then you feel like you're drinking a Klein Leash, and then those sherry notes really hit home, and then it takes you somewhere else. It's very, very well-rounded stuff. Honestly, I hope you guys are able to find this stuff. It's limited, but it's delicious. I think it was released in 2016. I could be wrong about that. When I went to Diageo headquarters in Toronto, they weren't aware of this one. And that's only because the LCBO was pretty limited with their release of it. Like I said, there's probably only 30 or 40 bottles in circulation, not many. And it's not cheap. It's about $275 in Ontario, probably much less in the UK and other parts of the world. But would I buy that again? I probably would. It's that tasty that I'm sharing this bottle with my buddy Jeremy, who's going to be starting a channel shortly. And I got to take it to the halfway point. And usually I'll review a bottle and I'll be a nice guy and I'll pass it over right away. But this one I definitely want to enjoy a little bit longer before I pass this one off. I'll probably take it to half just because I love the viscosity of it. I love the fact that it's cask strength, and I love the blend. I think it's such a great balance of whiskey. All right, so for that reason, I think some of you probably already know what's coming, but it's an A+ for me, and it's up there. All right, it's definitely up there. Okay, so if you guys are confused at all about my grading system and you need to know numeric value, I have it listed in my About section on my main page, so you guys can check that out there. You guys can also, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. That really helps with generating interest in this video. Share with some friends, or hit that subscribe button if you really like the video. Then you guys can also check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I tend to answer pretty much any comments or personal messages that anybody sends to me in any of those forums. And then if you'd like to support the channel, take it one step further, you guys can do that on Patreon. I have a new feature on my Patreon where if you are a Patreon of $20 or more a month, you get an automatic, after a set amount of months, you get a Whiskey in the Six hat and t-shirt. So hopefully a little bit of incentive there. The hats, you guys can choose pretty much anything you want, and the shirts, you can pretty much choose whatever color scheme you want as well, because the people I buy from are pretty good people, and they will customize them for you. So like I said, if you want to do that and you want to be one of the first people to do the $20 option per month, after a couple months you can get the shirt and hat. All right, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate the support. Cheers.